Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media, in case you didn't know. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and yes, that boom bap breakfast has arrived. So get your plate, get your fork, get your drink, get whatever you gotta get, because it's time to get lit, y'all. And let me bring forth the host with the most, straight from the East Coast, DC, KJ, feel me? He goes by the name of Dr. Jared Barr. Tree line
and that's
streets
all. Tree line streets. Oh, yeah. Tree line streets. Oh, man. And just got, speaking of tree line streets, I got stories to tell this morning.
Let me get the Biggie music ready. I got a story to tell.
I got a story to tell.
Before you get there, how was your weekend, man?
Oh, no, it was all good. That's part of the story.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was at the Black Blockchain Summit again.
No fights this time.
No, they separated. They kept me away from Reggie and Jay-Z's homeboy. They were there. They just were there different days at different times. He had them back out there though, but he had us separated. He had me early Friday morning.
Everybody still got sleep in their eyes.
No, we had a good crowd, but it was a different crowd.
Okay.
But there was still it still got a little interesting there too. But yeah, he kept. I noticed that when I went on to the YouTube channel, I noticed that he kept Reggie and I keep forgetting his name, but the dude that speaks on behalf of Jay-Z's blockchain efforts.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh yeah. That's who. Because that's who I had that issue with last time. It was Reggie Middleton, who I have this used to. I don't think we're had this ongoing little issue with, and then it was this other brother who works for Jay-Z, promoting the blockchain classes and courses and all that stuff. So it was.
What did you learn from it?
Oh no! I have to be honest. It's not so much in my exchange. It's not so much that I learn anything other than the depths of the cryptoganda and the messaging that has convinced people that this is a solution.
Cult following and stuff.
I mean, but to be fair, I do think that there are people who are trying to be well-meaning and well-intentioned. It's just
little ignorance.
I mean, it's a harsh word, but ignorant of certain politics and as they said, they're coming at it as business people. There were young Howard business students involved in the spot, so they're being raised literally pretty much from day one to be told that this is a solution and the entrepreneurial world has all the answers. So but shout out to Sinclair Skinner, who I think is committed to being, I think he believes what he says when he says he loves Black people, and he wants Black people to do well and overcome. And I think we just have a difference of opinion how to get there. But he keeps inviting me. He allows me to engage, and he's given me increasingly more time and space to engage. But there was in that setting, and this is not the other story. There's another story here, but in that setting, there's always some resistance. And what I loved about what happened Friday morning, and I'm hoping to get the full better recording. I streamed it on my channel, and that stream is, it's iffy, but I'm hoping to get the full professional recording that they made, because one of my favorite parts is when there's this brother who I even saw from the beginning. Before the event gets started, you can start peeping who's moving in certain ways. As you're setting up a show, you can start to see maybe, all right, somebody over there might be a little issue. Somebody over there might, need a little help. And he was already engaging with some combativeness with Sinclair. Like, Sinclair asked people in the back, could you all move to the front so we can fill up the space? And he did one of those, well, I don't really feel like moving, brother. I'm more comfortable back here. So he was already, so by the time I didn't even get to the Q&A, he was already interrupting and wanting to be critical of what I was saying without really having enough information to do it. And the beautiful part was that the people in the crowd, and again, some of them were not there to agree with me, but they were wanting to be respectful enough that they shut him down. I didn't have to do anything. The audience said, my man, you're being disrespectful, and got him in a situation where he felt like he needed to leave.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. I always like it when it works like that. Other than him leaving, I would have preferred he stay and.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
But I do like, because it happens like that sometimes in the classroom too, when you have a student or two that want to, they want to challenge the professor and they get a little bit disruptive. But when the other students say, listen, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to engage, and you're not, that's even better than when I have to say, exercise my authority,
Yeah, I get that. I had a little bit of situation. Somebody in the crowd just kept yapping while we was trying to have a conversation at the Black Man Lab yesterday. We had people that play sports and talking about what they did after sports. And it was a pretty good conversation. But I was thinking about, even when we talk about being an entrepreneur and stuff, I never thought about getting rich. I really thought about more like having the freedom of not having a boss and somebody telling me how to do stuff. Because once you get into being an entrepreneur, you work harder than for me, I feel like I work harder than I work for somebody else, because I was constantly always thinking of it. It was always on my mind, because it was like my baby. So my business was my baby. It was always on my mind. I spent more hours in there than I should have. And I was like, I don't know about getting rich, but I definitely don't have the answer to nobody right now. So that was my main thing about it.
That's, I wouldn't say I'm well paid, but the list of people I have to deal with is not that long. So I can appreciate that too. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not that. But yeah.
And I guess out of me, it was just more of, this is just what I do. I'm just accustomed to being like, I'm not working for nobody. I'm going to go find something to do, something to hustle, something to sell, something. And I just always came about doing stuff that way. So I never looked at it as okay. Because it's a lot of, like you said, a lot of people are like, ooh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to be rich. And then so many people get a business and realize how much money you got to constantly put in, how much employees you got to pay, things break, and you really don't even start making any profit unless you open a second business.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is, because then that business takes care of both of them, and then you finally get a little bit of money coming from one. But if you only got one business, oof.
Well, look, in fact, one of the stories I want to get to this morning is about who is actually rich and where all that money is. So that's a timely point you're making there. Mm-hmm. And shout out to the remixers I see filing in. Please do invite folks to join you and put this in your socials. And I keep telling Ear Doctor folks, I keep inviting people, tag BLM, tag Black Liberation Media, tag I Mix What I Like, tag the Ear Doctor. Let us know you out there supporting the work. Big shout out to folks like Chitty Matcha, mm-hmm. Waker Anarchist, Desiree, Leah Boggs. These are names I see Sugar Shan like routinely tagging us out there. So shout out to all of you, and encourage others to join you in doing that. And thanks everybody. And good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome
My
on
bad.
this.
My bad. I couldn't make it to Sundays yesterday, y'all. I had to spend a little time with my daughter. She wasn't feeling the best, so I was like, all right, let me go and do that. So I know it was late, 8 o'clock ish, but I was like, and I was tired as hell. You know, I DJ all Saturday. Had the had the kid. I know. I thought
It's, it's supposed to be yellow. The shirt is actually yellow. I don't know why it's showing up as peach. It's my PA tape. I'm from the PA tape era.
When you first got on, I was like, damn, you gonna put a shirt on, or we gonna?
Oh, you thought I showed up without a shirt on? No, y'all not ready for that. Out here, in my peach complexion.
I was like, damn, you ain't finished getting dressed yet.
Sign up for Patreon. Sign up for Patreon.
Speaking of peach complexion, Kim Brown.
Oh, no, don't do that to Kim
what
Brown.
Complexion? Whose
don't
complexion?
Do that to Kim Brown. Don't do that to Kim Brown.
What was that?
I'm just saying, you the same color as Jared's shirt.
Oh.
I don't know.
I am sometimes. It depends on the light. You know what I mean?
The light. You mean is it day or night, nigga? What you mean the light? Is the sun up or sun down? What you mean? What you mean?
Word.
Nigga, you illuminate. You don't shine. You illuminate the whole show every time.
Talk that. You finished walking the dogs?
No, I didn't walk the dog. Nigga, I had to. Don't worry about what I was doing, ear doctor. Just go. You just stay over there and look cute. That's what I need you to do. Just stand over there and push them buttons and look sexy for the women and the
ladies.
folks.
I'm still single.
Mm.
He's like, wonder why.
I know why. I know Scorpio. You out here, you know what I'm saying?
Here. Don't put me in the streets.
You are in the streets. Like
What?
I put you in the streets. You was in them streets when you was discovered. And they put you back on the streets when they was finished with you.
Anyway, let's start this over. How was your weekend, Kim Brown?
Hey, I like to what's up, Jared? It's Libra season, JB. Welcome to Libra season out here.
It's my birthday week.
That's right.
It's my birthday week. It's about to be Saturday. Saturday.
Big 4-0. Let's go, Jared.
let's went.
The 13th anniversary of the Big 4-0. That's what we celebrating on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be a little college. Yeah, there is. We having a little gathering at the house. I think there's going to be a little college reunion.
Whoa.
That's really what it started as. There was some folks in my undergrad. Shout out to Frostburg State University. And there was this chat and some folks we hadn't talked to, including the legendary former front woman of Mama's Biscuits, Tiffany Scott, she is. I'm trying to tell you. It's just one of those things. There's just no evidence. It's like many of the best they're just out there doing it without attention. There's a lot of talent out there, and I just had the privilege of witnessing it firsthand.
So you gonna get on the drum Saturday?
No.
It's not that kind of reunion.
First of all, it's not that kind of reunion. First of all, I don't have a drum set anymore. Second of all, don't nobody want to do. Nah, man. I donated my drum set to Words, Beats, and Life, so that the young youth in DC can make use of it and create some more go-go. Hopefully,
beautiful.
Yeah, but once I realized I'm not going to be, why I don't need to.
That's good therapy, though. When you get mad at somebody, you go out there in the garage.
No, that's what the punching bag is for. Not a drum set.
Punching bag.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's got holes in it. You know what I'm saying? The punching bag.
First one got knocked off the ceiling hook. I got to reinstall it. It got a little, but yeah, no. It was just a thing. I wasn't going to be playing a lot, and then physically, there is a physical challenge to my ability to actually sit and play.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, it's all good. I had my moment. It was never really part of the plan. So everything else was a bonus. Okay. And let some young youth out there rock out. And if I find one of my pieces of that drum in a go-go setup, that would make my heart sing. Yes. That would be perfect.
can
So
imagine.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, I heard your talk at the library went well. My mama went and seen you, and she said it was very well attended. So shout out to everyone that came to Jared's talk about Palestine.
The Howard County Palestinian Solidarity Network.
Your
Shout
mom
out to
went?
them.
My
Miss
mama
Mama
went.
Brown showed up. It was a
Really?
beautiful moment. I got to meet Mama Brown, get a little hug. She reminisced briefly about her time being able to work across the table, negotiate across the union table from my father, which
Mhm.
was always wild, just wild to hear.
Can I tell you what my mama said?
What's your mama say?
She said, "Oh, I was so happy to see Jared, and Jared was so wonderful and welcoming, and he's so tall. He looks just like his daddy, except white." I said, "Mom," I
Oh,
said, I said he's light skinned, Mom. And she said he looked just like his daddy, except minus the melanin.
I
Look
did
just
see your
like his
dad's
daddy.
pitch. You do look like him. Yeah.
We do favor each other, but
No,
except for that,
Mama said you look just like, not favor.
yeah.
Mama said you look just like, just like.
Yeah, and yeah, except for that part. Except for that part.
Except for the
He kept all the melanin.
to
Uh,
himself.
yeah, to
Very
himself. He was
selfish.
very selfish with the melanin, very stingy. He liked that. He was like, I love being so dark, and I don't want to give up even a sliver. That's what I told your mother. I would have appreciated just a sliver.
A little bit.
A
So
little
5%.
let me ask y'all this: did y'all get both of y'all politics from your parents?
Ooh.
Oh, I did absolutely.
That's a
That
good
was the starting
question.
point for me for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
And part of it was mythological, which is what I talked about Saturday night, because I didn't have a direct, intense relationship with my father. So I got a lot of the positive mythology about him
Mm.
and where he was and what he was doing. My mother didn't say one negative thing about him in my presence until I was well into adulthood, actually.
Mm.
I had to, like, come on now. Stop fronting.
She wasn't that good.
I mean, come on,
That
obviously.
says a
Like,
lot about your
yeah.
mom, though. You know what I'm saying? That says volumes about your mother.
Yeah.
Because hey, sometimes when the relationships don't work out, your daddy ain't blah blah blah. Well, if your daddy, your daddy. My mother didn't bomb on my father until I was a late teen. She
Mhm.
she couldn't hold it. It had to come
That's
out.
pretty good though. Late teens is good though. I mean,
I
I
thought
think
so.
I think
Yeah.
it's helpful to because I remember I was in grad school. I had a roommate, and he told me after he got off the phone, he had a very difficult relationship with his mother, and he got off the phone and he told me, he said, we had talked about this, and he did say that the one thing that he always appreciated that he heard about my mother versus his was that point. Because he said from day one, his mother was just running his father down. Whether he deserved it is a separate issue, but the point is, with the impact that has on the child,
Mhm.
is he felt it was pretty severe. So he always, so I've always remembered him telling me that, and I did appreciate that. But yeah, I did have to tell like I had to be like, come on, like let's okay, I get it. You did your duty. Let's have the honest conversation now, because it's clear that things weren't as perfect as
Mm. So Mama Brown was a thug out here in these political streets back in the day.
Thugging it. No, my mother, my mother's a very nice union lady.
Mm.
And I assumed a lot of those union politics, Democrat, very reliable, faithful, liberal Democrat. I remember answering the phones in 1994 at AFSCME because AFSCME is big into the Democratic Maryland machine. I
Mhm.
answered the phones for Paris Glendenning, or I was called phone banking for Paris Glendenning's gubernatorial re-election in 1994. I met Bill Clinton when I was like in 91 or 92. I have the picture, and I have a mouthful of braces. I'm
Mm.
really young in this picture with Bill Clinton when he came to Baltimore to do something that asked me. I don't know what he was doing. So I mean, I was a good, reliable Democrat for a long time. So yeah, I did assume those politics from my mom. Now, my father's radical politics I didn't discover until after he had passed away, of which he didn't pass any of that on to
Mm.
me. So I guess maybe just by growing older and a little bit more mature, I discovered some of those politics, I guess.
Might be in the DNA a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't sound far fetched
Yeah.
when it was presented. I said, okay, I think I can get with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my parents, they wasn't really political. They was just very had a lot of black pride. They
Hmm,
had their own
that's political.
businesses.
You don't think that's political?
I mean, yeah, I would say as in like they wasn't out there with the Black Panthers, but they was doing a lot of stuff for the black community, helping youth and stuff like that. And yeah, so I looked at that and was like, okay, let me represent. So now I'll be like, okay, let me represent like they did. I haven't got on the level where I got awards like my dad from the community, like he got awards and stuff like that. But you know, the reward is coming on here every day on the Remix Morning Show, and y'all showing y'all love. So thank
Anybody
you,
looking for
Remixers.
accolades though? We don't.
Yeah.
To whatever is assembled about this motley crew here on this platform. I don't
Mhm.
think these are folks looking for praise or platitude, like
Mhm.
acknowledgement. I guess like if we got acknowledged, you'd be like, God damn, someone was paying attention. But but in terms of the best or the honorary or whatever, I don't think nobody on here is that kind of looking for that sort of ego gratification.
You're right. And you know what? The thing is, when I go out on the street, like I did this Saturday, and ran into a vendor that was my boy Knowledge, ran into him again, and he said, come pick whatever you want. I love the Remix Morning Show. I got me a fly jacket. He was giving it to me for free, but I gave him $20. I was like, listen, man, everybody got to eat out here.
Hey,
So
shout out to Knowledge.
yeah,
That's
shout
what's
out to
up.
Knowledge. Yeah, so there's my accolades right there. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Knowledge. So
Yeah, it depends who it's coming from. If it's like a little community recognition, movement space recognition, I like that kind of stuff. I think that's cool, and I think more of us need to do that with each other a little bit. Just a a little salute here and there, little we should give more. We should do more. We should create award shows that we give
yeah.
each other like they do.
Yes,
Like
Elon, that's why I'm here. I'm here for your approval.
is that why you're here,
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Elon asked?
Definitely. I'm always
Elon's
here for
approval.
Elon's approval.
Yeah, shout out to Elon. Shout out to BAP. Shout out to
It's
the
fandom, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's low key fandom. You know what I'm saying? Ear doctor, they don't get on you if they didn't like you.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm
They
saying?
wouldn't say nothing about me, right?
That's right.
That's right.
100%. I ignore everybody that I really hate, right?
Yo,
I don't
one
even
day-
acknowledge them
one
niggas.
day you
Who?
just gotta read the comments on YouTube afterwards. It's very funny. The stuff they be saying. We really gotta do that.
sometimes.
Right. When it's not funny,
And when it's not, yeah.
He be wanting to find a little fake name and come under there and be like, what
oh
you say,
please,
nigga?
I ain't got to do that. I think I post on my name. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I've since day one, even back in the day, I remember even in elementary school where they were like, you don't have to put your name on it. You can just turn it. I'm like, nah, I'm putting my name on it. I said it. Damn it.
Y'all
I
out here
said
like
it.
Talib Kweli just going at everybody to say something. That dude is a menace.
Is he still out
wanted
here
to smoke.
thugging in these social media streets?
I don't know if anymore, but he definitely was wanting to smoke before. He was like, bring it.
Mhm. Definitely wanted the smoke. He
Mhm.
was looking for it, inviting it, welcoming it, all the smoke on Twitter. But speaking of posting under your real name, commenting under your real name, that wayward ass Negro from North Carolina, y'all seen this man? Nope.
Mm-mm.
Wait.
Okay,
Who we
so
talking about?
his name is Mark Robinson. He's the lieutenant
Oh,
governor
yeah.
for North Carolina. He is a wayward Negro. Lord have mercy.
The Black Klansman, didn't he call himself that or something like that?
Well,
yeah.
might as well Black Nazi, same
Nazi,
thing,
sorry.
right?
Right.
But
Wow.
what kind of madman? Who in the hell goes on porn sites and posts comments in the forum? Like, what are you
Is that what he was doing?
You serious? I think the Reconstruction bill should
Right.
be changed. Like, I'm in the middle of a stroke.
Oh, is that what he's doing? He's doing. I thought he was commenting on what was the scene. I thought he was.
I think
The
he
lighting
was
in this
commenting
scene could have been better.
But I mean, who does that? What kind of maniac actually decides to create a username password on Pornhub and decides to post comments under the content? Like,
Wow.
what are you doing?
It's like you call that a 69, more like a 68.
What that's actually, and it just, that never would, right? Yeah. never would have
And again,
occurred.
and to just to point to where we are in society, I mean, no one is besmirching him for going on the site, right? Like that's not even the criticism. It's like what he was posting, but otherwise, it's like, sir, who leaves comments under P videos under maniac?
Yeah, that's wild. Well. So one of the reasons why, unfortunately, I looked up some of what this man is up to is because I did make a return visit. I hadn't really caught on to the new season yet, but I did make a return visit to Cam and Mace's show the other day when they had Tyson on.
Tyson was good.
And I did enjoy the fact that he said he had taken shrooms before he went on the show, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, nice.
But what bothered me was that he brought up this guy Tyson did in a positive way, saying he really enjoyed the guy and the guy makes him laugh. And then they led into all three of them saying they're all voting for Trump.
Bill? Is that he was talking about Bill Cosby?
No. He was talking about no. First, Tyson was talking about the black Nazi.
He was talking about he makes him laugh.
Yeah, he was saying this black Nazi dude makes him laugh. He was asking Cameron Mace, you know about this guy? He's really funny. He makes me laugh. I enjoy laughing. And I was like, wait a minute. And then so I started looking into some of the I didn't see that part about the comments, but then they went into how all three of them are voting for Trump, and the sister there was left
not all three. Only Mason, what's the name? Cameron said he don't vote.
No, but I thought he was saying he was going to support Trump.
No, he said he don't vote.
Okay, my bad. All right. So then Mason Tyson said they're voting for Trump. Mm-hmm. Are you? I guess you're right. I was convinced that he had said that, but Stat Baby said she's the only one that was holding out for Kamala. Mm-hmm. Which in that moment, I even felt a little bit of like, well, damn, at least I was like, I for a moment was like, really? Are y'all voting for Trump? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And it looked like Tyson, I think Tyson, some people confuse money and being helped out, like he said, younger in his younger career, how he was able to go to Trump's casino and get money boxing there and this and that and the third. So they look at that like, oh, we got a relationship. We cool.
That's what they were saying. They were saying you got to vote for him because he's your homeboy, like you know him.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, Kim, they were talking about like we go way back with this guy. And
I bet birds of a feather flock together.
Everybody was saying I'm the Black Trump in hip hop, like in the 90s and 2000s. Everybody was.
He had a lot of reference. He did have a lot of reference, and I think that I mean, he was around for a long time. He was in the zeitgeist for a long time. But it's wild that without any, just without any thought or substance. In the same way, honestly, I feel like a lot of people are saying they're voting for Kamala. There's like it's not a lot of thought involved. It's just I like this one. I don't like that one. Yeah. She looks like somebody. He's representing something that I think I want. But nothing real meaningful or substantive in the conversation about justifying the choice. But I think it just has to do with the making.
I can't help but draw that line. Mike Tyson, convicted and served time for rape, and Donald Trump credibly accused multiple times of sexual assault. And it's like, oh, look at y'all got some things in common. I can see why you might vote for your homeboy. Because as we see, all these birds of a feathers be flocking together.
Wait till the party tapes come out for your boy Diddy. There's so many people that's like, oh fuck.
Listen, there's going to be Diddy content for the next 30 years. You guys remember how when we was kids, like all these, what happened to Amelia Earhart? Who killed JFK? Like all these stories about Sean. But the difference with Sean Combs is that we're actually going to have a resolution sooner than what happened to Amelia Earhart or who killed JFK. But there's going to be so much content on Diddy forever. I'm seeing all these old Ellen DeGeneres appearances and appearances on David Letterman and Diddy. You talk about being in the zeitgeist for a long time. Like Sean, been out there for a while, and then the release of Kim Porter's alleged secret book came out on Amazon. The TikTok girlies was all over that yesterday. That just sounded crazy. I have no idea if it's true or accurate or if it's what The publisher claims that it is, but it sounds wild. It sounds pretty fucking wild. So
now the word is out here that's saying, a lot of people are saying, the whole Diddy thing is a distraction from voting and stuff like that.
could
What's y'all thoughts?
not just from voting. It's probably a distraction from many a thing because it's so huge. But yeah, it's a distraction.
Albie Shore said it's fake news. Are you serious, Elon?
Albie Shore. But see, I wonder if Albie Shore said it's fake news because of the things that was said about him.
Him and Diddy getting busy.
And I mean,
really?
Allegedly.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly. But I'm certain, if these are indeed Kim Porter's words, she was very candid about, their bedroom exploits. And I'm like, her kids are hearing about this. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why Albie Shore is like, no, that shit fake. Yeah, because the kids is hearing all about this crazy shit. And they not kids. These big, well, young, but big adults, big enough to understand what is what. And I'm sure they do not want to hear about their mama or their daddy or their other daddy, depicted in that way. But yep, it is a madness.
Well, I think, Kim, we can let this all rest because apparently, according to Steve, Dr. Umar said Diddy is innocent. So,
wow,
we should
innocent
just wrap it up.
What is he innocent of?
Everything.
Yeah.
No, he's not innocent. He's a terrible person. And guys, I mean, karmic justice is a thing. It might take a long time. Some people may not ever get to live to see the justice, karmic justice served upon their enemies, but that don't mean it's not coming.
I think the word going around now is really like, okay, well, the system is taking down the black man and we're all cheering about it. I think that's what's the thing being said right now. It's like, why are we so happy that the system is...
Again, goofy nigga. That's goofy nigga rationale. It is, because first of all, yeah, I agree. We shouldn't have had to wait for the system. People should have corrected Diddy long ago, but that's not what happens, right?
True.
Powerful people, especially powerful men, are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, unchecked for decades if they choose, right? Because they have so many enablers. So if it is the system that happens to be the one dispensing this karmic justice, well, fuck it. The rest of y'all niggas weren't gonna do shit. Except watch and gossip and talk about,
or get your car blown up like Kid Cudi.
Right, the nigga's a menace.
That's some gangster shit. Yo.
Menace to society. That nigga, terrible.
Damn, I hit the alarm.
Under the
somebody breaking into your car?
No, I hit the alarm button in my pocket. I forgot I had it in my pocket.
You still got a car alarm.
Hey, yeah, I see somebody with the crowbar on their steering wheel. I'm like, bro, really?
Crowbar.
We still doing that?
That's what I was saying. You might as well take your stereo out of your fucking car and put it under your seat. You remember that shit?
The faceplate.
I used to have I had the faceplate joint on my little Toyota Tercel when I was delivering. I had a nice ass stereo in that cheap piece of shit car delivering pizza. I put a lot of money into that stereo. I was out there thumping, rattling the
Used to get your little amp and put it in the back on my little box with the speakers. Had that shit.
I had no trunk space. My whole trunk was a big ass amp for a couple years. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. But you heard me bringing them pizzas, boy.
There it is. Hey, I guess we can go ahead and do a little news.
Wait. Before the news, let me tell my little story real quick. Please let me tell my little story. I would like to get some of this off my chest, please, because so it starts off. This is where it starts with the beautiful family. My wife and I, our two daughters, making our first trip. Now, my wife and I both attended University of Maryland, but neither of us had ever gone to a football game. So that was literally our first football game. When I was a student, when both of us were students, it was still named after birds. It was still named after the racists who said black people can't even come to the university. So I had said, I'm not going to the games if I can't, if naming it after, so at least it's now named after a bank. So, it's all safe. But we're leaving, right? And, unfortunately, our youngest, Marley, had torn her ACL again. So she's in a brace. And so my wife goes and gets the car and brings it down from the garage. And I'm standing there with our daughters waiting. She pulls the car up. And for a brief moment, she is blocking the exit and immediately Karen starts yelling at my wife. So I said, I tried to wave at her from the side to say, you know, hold on a second, we're just trying to park closer so my injured daughter has a less distance. I motion to my wife, she pulls over, and as she's moving over to the side to let Karen leave, this fat white man comes pulling up very quickly right behind my wife and starts honking and cussing like immediately.
Whoa.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Move your goddamn. So I'm still like walking over there slowly initially with my daughter, and I'm seeing this, and I start trying to say to him, my man, calm down, she's moving. He didn't hear me. And as I'm walking over to the car, I'm starting to get more upset because he's just screaming and cussing, and he's waving his arm out the window. And I said, and I'm like, I said, my man, I said, I don't remember exactly what I said other than I didn't cuss. That's the only thing I was sure not to do because I didn't want to be perceived as the hostile one. But I said, I was trying to say my wife she's trying to let my daughter get to the car. And she's no longer blocking you, just go around. And as I'm coming up to the car, he sees me and, you know, pulls away yelling, fuck you, with the finger out the window and drives off. And I said, that's what you do. I was like, that's what you do. You drive off. So now,
did you follow him?
No.
He wasn't driving.
But this is family with him.
This is what my wife takes our youngest, they leave. I'm staying with my oldest to hang out. And as we're walking to the lunch spot, I was trying, you know, first I had to calm down for a minute because I'm speeding through this story, but I was pretty heated. And first of all, an old black man said, we was walking by, shout out to this old black man, whoever you are, shout out to you. Cause he said something like, we saw you, he said, we saw what happened. We something like, you know, you're going to do some good out here. Something like that. He had something positive, like supportive to say, cause he could see what was happening. And I said to my daughter, cause she's kind of like me a little bit, has that little bit of that energy of let's go. And I wanted to talk with her about why I thought I don't like my reaction. And I wanted to talk about the tactics and being more thoughtful. So first I had to acknowledge that had I really wanted to do what I thought I wanted to do, I wouldn't have said anything. He wouldn't have heard me and I would have been able to grab his arm while sticking out the window and he'd have been in trouble. But then I said, but let's play it through. Win or lose, I'm going to the hospital because of all my issues. So even if I win, I'm gonna need a hospital visit after the fact. I said, there's police all over the place. All over the place. So we already know once they get involved, who knows what's going to happen at that point. And then I said, ultimately, I prefer that you and I are walking to go get this lunch as opposed to you visiting me in a hospital or a cell or worse. And so I said, you know, a couple things. I said, because I saw his arm out the car, but I don't see who else is in the car. I don't know where his other arm was. I don't know who he's with. I only know I'm not with anybody. I'm with my small, teeny, tiny wife, my older daughter, and my younger one who's busted up herself. So I was like, we're not in any condition to be in some tactical defensive
family feud.
So I was trying to say, like, and really what I was trying to point out is that as I'm talking to her about, I want you to think about this as you start to think about the men you're going to be spending time with and inviting into your life. I don't want you to be with the guy that's going to get super rah-rah and go overboard to try to appease his own ego or his own anger or something else. I would prefer you to be with the guy that would know this is not the moment. Let's get everybody to safety and let's work from that point, as opposed to everything escalating, which is, as we see in the news all the time, something starts very small, things get out of hand, and it's not necessary. And at the end of the day, we were just there at a football game, but it just did remind me again, you know, like how quickly things can go left, and how Yeah.
You said, what would Air Doctor do? He would breathe.
Oh, is that what? That's what I did.
There
That's
it
what I
is.
did. I said he would breathe.
Very
He would,
zen.
but it did push me over the edge very quickly to see this man cussing and screaming at my wife.
I bet.
It did very, very quickly. It was a very quick, and I was moving to the car. I was headed over there, but I think unconsciously, Ear Doctor spoke to me and made me say something. Because when generally, if you're really ready to do something, you stop talking.
Yeah,
I kept
you
talking.
thinking about how I'm gonna fuck you up.
and
a lot of us come from the wish a nigga woods.
Thank you. You start asking questions. I always have questions in those scenarios. First question is, who the fuck are you talking to? Right?
Yeah,
Like that's my first question. Who are you talking to?
You look
who
like this.
Are you talking to? Shut up, Ear Doctor.
That's how you look. You like,
who the fuck are you talking to? And then he get cussed out. And then y'all be all kinds of black bitches. That's happened. I ain't been called a nigga no more places than I have right here in the good old state of Maryland by whites. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta, it can be a little back and forth. But to your point, Jared, yeah, your daughter, you don't want her selecting somebody that's a hothead, but at the same time, you would like a man who can throw hands, right? Now he when he options those hands is a question of his judgment and his character. But you want the ability. You want your daughter to be with somebody who has the ability to put hands on somebody and protect her if need be.
No doubt. It's that fine line. I don't want him doing it when it's not necessary and it's only going to make things worse. So like that's the only point I was trying to point out to her in that moment, that tactically this was not the situation. Too many people, too many witnesses, too many police, too many unknown variables. Again, I don't know who he's with. But then also again, I wouldn't want her to be with somebody that's going to put her in danger. So that's what I was trying to point out. Like the goal is let's get everybody to safety. Let's de-escalate. And if necessary, to your point, absolutely. If there's no way out, the hands, let them go.
I wonder if the white man was doing that same calculus, though. I wonder if the white man was thinking about the witnesses.
No, I don't think so.
I don't. I haven't been around a bunch of white people like that in a minute. I could just imagine when they're all a bunch of them together and they're like, "Oh, this nigga's coming around us." I can say what the fuck I want to say. It's like if they come to our hood, it's like, what the fuck is you doing here? Like,
it's an odd thing though, because I don't view College Park as theirs. Like the University of Maryland might be theirs, but College Park, Maryland, I don't say belongs to the whites. Would you say that, Jared? I would disagree.
That's an interesting. That's a good. No, you're right. I think that's a good point. I think once you leave campus, they have a way to go before they're in home base again, because the surrounding area is
PG County, Maryland.
PG County.
So this is around the college.
Oh yeah. Well, this was on campus. So this was we were on College Park's campus. No. This is University of Maryland. This was not Morgan State. This was not Morgan State. We were at University of Maryland's football game.
And it's not College Park, Atlanta, my nigga. It's
not. No.
It definitely ain't College Park, Atlanta.
First of all, if anything,
we'll ask you, what are you doing here? What are your intentions? That's what we will do to them.
Black colleges, right? But
my wife would have put the K Paso out here, bat signal up in PG County. There'd been a whole lot of problems for my man. He'd had a long way to Bethesda, homeboy. It's a long way to Rockville, my man. You know what I mean? So he would, but he wasn't. No, he was. I took it as just the stereotypical thing. He was a hot-headed white man that thought, and it was the speed of it too, because there was no time. He immediately pulled up and started cussing and screaming, and it was wild. It was wild. He would. Yeah. Anyway,
I was in Alabama when I used to live there for a minute, and was in a white mall with my homeboy, and we was walking in there. And this white boy was walking towards us, and he was like kind of talking to himself, and he walked by and was like, "What you niggas looking at?" And I was like, we could have watched this nigga real quick, but it was like, yo, we in the mall, it's security right over there. Who they gonna lock up first?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, it's not that many years ago that the white man killed that brother at the bus stop right there at College Park too.
That
Stabbed
is
him up right
correct.
there at the bus stop. So
Mhm.
that's also, so that's what I was trying to say. Like, we just don't know. There are some of these white folks out here that are thorough, like there's thorough and mentally ill and disturbed and all of that,
Mhm.
and drunk. Let's not forget that part.
Yeah,
Let's not
that
forget
too.
that part. And but yeah, it was anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll
Big
me
up to
stop,
all
let me
those.
stop.
Well, thank you for that story to tell. I guess we could go ahead and get into it. This is the Remix Morning Show. In case y'all didn't know, y'all here tuned in to the best morning show on the planet. I am the Ear Doctor. That's Dr. Jared Ball. It's Burn It Down, Kim Brown. And we're going to take a quick break and come right back to you right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. I'll make your mouthpiece obese like Dello Reese. When I release, you lose teeth like little C's. Negro, please. Big up, y'all. How y'all doing today? This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. And yes, please, I would love for you to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, go to our website, blkliberationmedia.org. And go ahead and donate over there while we are demonetized over here. And let's keep this thing populating. All right, so you know what time it is. It's time for the weather report. All right, so the weather report today is, starting off in the A, it's been pretty hot, y'all. I mean, it's 95 degrees, like my girl Glorilla said, but today is going to be 89 degrees. In D.C., it's a little freaky weather over there. It's going to be 69 is the high over there. Chicago, it's going to be 68. Wow. Okay. In Dallas, 87 degrees. Getting a little warmer there. Still not hot as Atlanta, though. Oakland, West Side, 82 degrees. St. Lucia, big up to all my people out in St. Lucia, 89 degrees, same as ATL. And last but not least, Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, 87 degrees. So in the 80s damn near everywhere you look. It's pretty hot. I'll tell you what else was hot that I talked about earlier was the whole this Veggie Taste Fest I went to, and I got to watch Ciroc and my boy Soul Messiah do their thing and perform. I tell you, man, she was a great performer. Also got to see Jackie Reed. I know y'all remember her from BET doing the news. She was out there promoting her veganism. And my boy DJ Willie Wow, who is a big time kids DJ. So a bunch of my peoples out there had a great time. Thank y'all for all coming up, showing up, and showing out. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get back to the Remix Morning crew right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. I said a whole different Biggie rhyme to that. But
You just remixed the remix
remix
and the remix.
That's what we do.
That's one of the ones that we can keep of Biggs. That Parasite didn't put all of his lecherous ad libs all over. That joint is Diddy free.
Yeah.
That's what we need, Kim. We
What's
need the
that?
Diddy free bad boy list of songs. We need to compile the Diddy free list. I like that.
That could be a classical breakdown or a Sunday.
That's not a bad idea. That's a good idea, actually. I would love to watch you all do that.
Yeah.
What's the Diddy free list that we can safely listen to? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
pretty
By the
much.
way, Jared, you are invited in the future for an appearance on Classical Breakdown. We would love to have your musical expertise.
Oh, I'd be honored anytime, whenever. Yeah, anytime.
I think we should do some go-go and really have a conversation on that. Yeah, because I know we just did Jackson 5. Big up to everybody that tuned in for the Jackson 5. That was a real dope. Well, I forgot to play the song Jackson 5 did. You know what song I'm thinking about, right?
All I do is think of you. We
All I
play
do
that.
is I forgot to play that.
And we didn't play Daddy's Home either.
Yeah, we didn't.
You're my love.
But you know me. It was an hour show, so
Hey,
We made it an hour.
we did.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
it was a very comprehensive and succinct hour, Air
Yeah,
Doctor. So I
yeah,
mean,
it
I was
was.
very proud of what we did. So
Big up
yeah.
to Black Liberation Media. We had Jackson 5, and then we went to Prince. I mean, all in a 2-hour span. That was dope. How long was your show, Jared? It was like an hour or two.
For which show?
Prince.
It's your Prince that you did last Thursday after
I
class.
did no, I didn't do it. So I didn't do it. What I ended
Oh.
up doing was I did it for the Monday show yesterday. So
Okay.
I spent about, I think it was about an hour before we got to the ML Smith interview. And shout out to her and shout out to Free Khalifa. So please, I think we're down to the last few hours. Please find a way to support the Khalifa's stay of execution. And so but it was about an hour where and I did hear back from Ezra Edelman. I did
Oh.
try to get but he's he expressed a sort of exhaustion.
Oh.
And so we'll see, maybe one day. But and now I've reached out to Dr. West. I will share that. I emailed Cornell West yesterday because we had talked about a tentative return to the platform for him at the end of this month. And I said, but look, we got to put it in the context of your involvement in this documentary. And really what I'm trying to do is I need Dr. West to get us a hookup so we can see. We need a Black Liberation Media screening of this documentary. So Cornell West apparently is in it. I'm trying to, I'm asking people, whatever your 6 degrees is, people, we need to work it. I need to see this. I need to see this 9 hours of Netflix documentary. If not more of it. I want to see the raw stuff. I want to see as much as we would, but anyway, so we'll see. We're trying. We'll see if we can get Cornell West to get us in the door and to talk about how it's apparently the documentary suggests that he helped evolve Prince's blackness, his political blackness. So I said, come on, Dr. West. Let's table the campaign for a little bit.
Yeah,
let's just talk about.
Like you gonna win.
Well, that wasn't my approach.
He's still out here campaigning regardless. And listen, I think Dr. West likes to come on and talk about music. I think he would prefer to talk about music.
Yes, I think he would.
He'll take up that invite. And for the record, Dr. West, you are invited to join us on Classical Breakdown as well. We would love.
Well, if he answers, I'll just push it there. Like we didn't set anything. Like there's no proprietary whatever claim. So if I'm just waiting, and as of right now, there's no answer to the email. But as soon as he answers, we'll be like, what works for you? Yeah. We got multiple avenues for you to make your way on here and do what you need to do. So Classical Breakdown would be great.
That was about a year ago. We just did the doctor's office and had him on. So
has it been that long already?
Yeah, wow, for real already. All right, well, let me get up out of here. Let y'all get to some news since we about an hour.
Well, all right. So I do have something ready for that though, because we were talking about the petty violence of local whites. But there's a real violence of the real whites. And in this story, it plays out in the accumulation of wealth. So I had been running with and they've updated the numbers. So Counterpunch is reporting as of yesterday that 801 U.S. billionaires hold a combined $6.22 trillion in wealth. So I just would like for us to let that marinate for a brief moment. What that means in a country that has 340 million people, 800 of them have $6 trillion in wealth. So I think it's an exercise. Everybody should take a moment and open up your phone and look at your bank account.
Excuse me.
We should all look at our bank accounts and think about the hours we've worked for that little bit that's in there. And sit on this for a moment. 801 billionaires in the U.S. hold a combined $6.22 trillion in wealth. topping the list, of course, is Elon Musk. And if there's ever more of a billboard disclaimer against capitalism, it's got to be Elon Musk. If there's ever been someone less deserving, not that anyone ever deserves it, but if anyone is less deserving to have this much money, it has to be him. Followed not far behind by Jeff Bezos at $204 billion, Larry Ellison of Oracle fame at $197 billion, Mark Zuckerberg of Meta at $182 billion, and poor old Warren Buffett rounds out the top 5 at only $141 billion. His broke ass, exactly. What your broke ass doing up here, Warren?
So who's the first non-white, non-male to show up on that list?
So that is a very, very, very good question, because
I would
the
think
next
that tech guy.
Well, the next wave we have here is the Walton family, which does include at least one woman. Yes. They have 6 members of the Walton family, have a combined wealth of $349 billion.
Eat them on sight. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Mars, I'm not sure, of the Mars family, the candy bars and all of that, $142 billion. Oh, wow. And then 2 members of the Koch family are worth $141 billion. Now I thought it was on the same page. Okay, so you got to click another link to go to the full list, but
I heard
I can pull that up here real quick.
Mark Cuban looking at buying X.
I mean, whatever. So let's see. That's a good question though. How far do we have to go before you get a non-white, non-male?
And out of curiosity, a non-inheritor, or all these fuckers inherit? Well, Bezos didn't. Well, not in the same way. He inherited, but not all that Amazon wealth. He inherited some shit. But are there anybody that picked them up? Any billionaires that picked themselves up by their bootstraps on that list, Aaron? Is there anybody that worked hard for it, or all these motherfuckers was inheritance trust fund ass billionaires? I guess Buffett. I don't know what the fuck Warren Buffett did to get his money. Was he born rich?
Now, I've heard him and Charlie Munger run their mythology down, and it starts with, the way I remember them starting it is that Charlie Munger worked for Warren Buffett's father's grocery store, so they weren't maybe super rich, but there was some ownership of business, and from that part, something regardless. Yeah, he didn't start from scratch. Right. That's right. He didn't start from scratch. And then, if you inherit something, and then you have that white manness on top of it. Now, if we leave the country, it looks like Zhong Shan is among the world's top billionaires at 2.4. In terms of just a degree of non-whiteness. I don't know who Prajogo Pangetsu is, but here, okay. So if we go down the top ordering here, the top 10 are all white and male. Or top Ortega. 10. I don't know if we're trying to say, is Ortega some I don't know if we're going to give any, I don't know, but he's a white, whatever he is. He's still, white.
Ortega. Latino.
Look at that talented 10th. Look at that untalented, undeserving.
Well, we got at number 12, we do have Mukesh Ambani.
Oh, okay.
So there's at least some non-whiteness, although still very male.
Sound like gas.
Yeah, we do get some Jensen Huang.
So Wang.
All right, there you go. And then you get so Alice Walton at number 18 is the first woman.
18,
and followed up by number 19, Francois Bentoncourt Myers, and family, though. It says and family, are 86 billion.
And family.
So
I would think an African will probably be one of the first.
There are no observably African people on this list.
0?
I'm at 30. I haven't seen one yet.
Not even a Nigerian billionaire?
Nope, not yet.
And then the people with color got families at the end of their name.
They got families. Up.
Wait
Shiv
a minute.
Nadar. What's Shiv doing? Shiv Nadar, is he just he's a black Arab? I don't know but that's the darkest man we've seen at number 43.
What's his claim to fame? Where he
India, software services in India.
Yeah.
Okay. He's only worth 40 billion.
He's a sand Negro, as some would say.
Let's look up his wife. I'm sure he got a white wife.
Mackenzie Scott. That's Bezos's ex, right?
Oh,
inheritor.
Damn.
She's up there at number 48. Another Walton at number 50. I still haven't seen an African of any diaspora.
Where's Rolly Homeboy? Where's Rolly Homeboy?
Smith.
He's nowhere. We wouldn't be. We're at number 75 and we're still 26 billion. There's no
black people.
None of Roland's crew is going to be on that level because we're at number 90 is still 22 billion. I still have not seen an African.
This is when you see the whole Euro royalty and lineage and money passed down and blue blood.
Murdoch.
You get to see all that right here.
And I think these people got a little bit more money than the royals, but maybe not. I may have that wrong. I guess when you count all the stolen, jewels and
artifacts, and
all the many, all that stuff is
another
probably
Walton. Damn, they got Waltons down all the way down at the 113. That Walton thing that's monstrous. I'm at 126, and so I still haven't seen. There'd go Jerry Jones.
Jaribu says the African with the most money is like 14 billion, solo billion.
So we're not at 14 billion yet. 14 billion. We've hit number 136. Henry Nicholas III is at 14.8.
Yeah, we got to go down to find.
Still not seeing an African somewhere.
We gotta get a submarine to find this African.
I'm like, damn. This is just.
Wait a minute. What was that? Go back. I think you. Oh no.
Sunil, that's India. So, no. You got Africa is for the extraction of wealth, not for the accumulation of it. So that's we should be reminded of that because again we down, and I don't know, we're down to the 12 billions. I still haven't. Jaribu might need to update. Check on whoever Jaribu's referencing. They might have had a loss.
It might be one of them pictures without a face.
Maybe
on
it is
like,
a picture. No, that's a Mars. Marjeet said, "Don't put my picture up there. I'm only 11 billion."
Sheesh.
Look at all these Mars family folks. Look at this. Robert Kraft.
Because when I hit the lottery, I don't want no pictures taken of me.
And how much do they pay?
There we go. Stewart. That's the tech guy, David Stewart. That's what I knew. He was the tech guy. He's the guy.
Shout out to ADOS, Black FBA, Black America.
Who is this Negro? Who is he?
He's the tech guy.
He is a tech guy, IT provider. David Stewart with 11.4 billion.
Well, how he get his money? I need more details than he a tech guy. Like what did he make? What did he invent?
I would have to.
We're gonna pull that up.
Aliko Dangote, Nigeria in the building, 11.2 billion.
No, that's a millionaire. He's a millionaire.
No, 11.2 billion.
Oh,
you can't be on here at a million.
Oh, that's right.
No, what it shows, he lost 476 million since the last time they calculated this. So, but he's still holding strong at 11 billion. Okay. All right. Shout out to Africans in the building. At what number?
I was about to say, what are our rankings? Where did the black people show up?
In the hundreds, the late hundreds and 200s. And
wait. We got somebody else? Oh
no! He just suntan.
That lighting.
That's Brazil.
Okay,
that's Brazil.
We claim Brazil.
There's Roland's boy right there, Robert Smith.
There you go.
10 billion private equity. 10 billion. Number 219.
Damn.
Go ahead, brothers. Go ahead, brothers.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, brothers.
Go ahead and redistribute, brothers. Go ahead and redistribute, brothers.
It's funny because right now they promoting, the tech game is the game to get into to make the money. But with the tech, it's like tech keeps moving and going and moving to the next. So by the time we learn something in tech, it's going to be something else.
Charles Schwab. Dang, Schwab is broke. I've been hearing that name all my life.
Yeah,
Roman Abramovich.
Like Jaguar don't have commercials. Lincoln and Chevy's got commercials.
They do have Jaguar commercials. I even see Aston Martin commercials pop up around this area, hither and thither. Yeah.
Well, let me say Bentleys don't got commercials.
Well, they don't need it because they got enough
Exactly.
brand recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this is crazy. So anyway, I just wanted to. The headline for me was that 6 U.S. citizens are worth 800 U.S. citizens are worth $6.2 trillion, which is just, yeah. So anyway, that's the violence. That's the real violence. Never mind what we were talking about earlier. You know, that's.
And it blows up this whole idea of if you work hard in this country, you too can be a success. You too can climb to the upper echelon. When we look at the most successful, i.e., the most wealthiest people in this country, they all got their money handed to them. Someone gave it to them. They did not fucking go work for it. And even those that quote unquote do work for it, let's even throw Bezos in there, right? Bezos is a terrible fucking person. Like I constantly watch TikTok videos of Amazon workers attempting to organize and form unions, and they talk about all the union busting tactics that they have to, endure from Amazon, from them being stalked, harassed, people monitoring their bathroom breaks, giving people who are trying to file workmen's compensation claims, or people who are injured on the job trying to undercut them or discredit their claims and trying to not pay people. And here come Jeff Bezos on a $500 million yacht. Like what?
God
So
damn.
fuck them like that. And so they're rich, but they're terrible people. And we have to constantly remind our folks that don't aspire to be these terrible capitalists. Don't aspire to be a billionaire. They're awful people, just like Diddy and his ilk. Don't aspire to that shit. Don't look up to that. Don't admire that. Don't hold that in any form of reverence, because they're awful, awful individuals to the rest of us. So what is there to admire besides their wealth?
I think we got to redefine the word wealth too. I think that word and rich get confused sometimes because I feel like I'm wealthy. I have everything I need in my life when it comes to family, health, somewhere to stay. I feel wealthy, but and when you come to rich, I'm damn near. I'm surely not rich, but I think I'm definitely wealthy. Would you say you're well? How y'all feel about that? Wealth and rich?
I appreciate the sentiment, but I am a little bit trapped by the popular discussion. So I still want us to be clear on what the differences are between income and wealth. Income is what you earn for selling your labor. Wealth is what you earn off of other people's labor. And so I do like to be clear on that, as I understand the point you're making. So once we're clear on that part, I would like for us to be able to be appreciative of what you're talking about, even as we recognize the material theft, abuse, and extraction that's producing all this income and wealth for other people. So I hear you. I do because in part I want people to, if we're clear on what income and wealth mean in the so-called real world, and then we want to make internal redefinitions, that's great. But I feel like there's so much confusion about how this works in the real world that I would like for some clarity around that before we make these adjustments that I agree with you do need to be made.
Yeah, I can see that. All right.
All right, so if we're good, we can keep moving. Erica did lace us, and there's plenty of other unfortunate, including with this story here, that the Missouri, the Missouri Supreme Court declined to halt Tuesday's execution of death row inmate who prosecutors says might be innocent. Which to hear. First of all, if I can, I want to encourage people to check out the discussion with ML Smith that we did yesterday, in part not only because of her brilliant breakdown of this case, but we get to talk about her career and her life that led her to this work. And to hear her not only tell that story, but then to break down that particular point about the prosecutor believing that Marcellus Williams Khalifa is at least deserving of a stay of execution, if not more. Meanwhile, the state's attorney is stepping in to prevent that. The attorney general stepping in to prevent that is bizarre. But as it says here, the Missouri Supreme Court and Governor Mike Parson have declined to halt Tuesday's execution of death row inmate prosecutors say may be innocent, leaving his fate in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court with less than 24 hours to go before he is scheduled to die by lethal injection. Mr. Williams has exhausted due process and every judicial avenue, including over 15 hearings attempting to argue his innocence and overturn his conviction. Parson said in a statement, no jury nor court, including at trial, appellate, and Supreme Court levels, have ever found merit in Mr. Williams' innocence claims, except for the prosecutor. So how can you say that? At the end of the day, his guilt and verdict and sentence of capital punishment were upheld. Marcellus Williams, 55, was convicted of killing Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter found stabbed to death in her home in 1998. Williams has long insisted he is innocent, and in an unusual move, St. Louis County's top prosecutor filed a motion in January to vacate Williams' 2001 conviction and sentence, but the motion was denied.
It was denied by the court, or yeah,
it was denied by the court with new information about potential evidence contamination. Prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell and Williams' lawyers had recently filed a joint brief asking the Missouri Supreme Court to send the case back to a lower court for a more comprehensive hearing. And that's what they're saying. The Supreme Court has continued to deny in upholding the sentence of death. So, it's a terrible situation. And as ML breaks down in all of these interviews she's been doing, it's already known that 1 in 8 executions are of innocent people at minimum. All the data shows it is not a deterrent to crime. And it caught the death penalty. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Is not a deterrent to preventing crime, and it just generates millions of dollars for the prison industrial complex in maintaining these people on the way to their execution.
You said 1 in 8 persons.
That's what ML was telling us. 1 in 8 is innocent. No, that she said 1 in 8 executions have shown to have been of innocent people. That's what she was saying. Yeah.
And that's current statistics, right? Think about all the Black people that were lynched, drugged from their beds and drug out of their places of business and drug out of their churches. 100% innocent. So this is unfortunately very on brand for America to continue to execute innocent Black people, people not guilty of any crime, people falsely accused, people falsely prosecuted. I would love to know what the Biden-Harris administration has to say about this. I would imagine that a commutation or a pardon is fully within the purview of presidential powers, that Joe Biden could step in here and do something if he chose to, if he gave a fuck. I'm certain that this young man, who was young at the time, he was likely a victim of the war on crime, right? These hasty prosecutions, sloppy police work. I would be curious to know what the racial demographic of the jury that convicted him was in 1998. Burn it all to the fucking ground. Tell me, is this the democracy, Kamala? Is this the democracy we're supposed to be out here upholding? Is this the democracy we gonna stand outside the prison and sing Beyonce's Freedom? You know what I'm saying? Like this is where the rubber meets the road on all of that bullshit democratic rhetoric about freedom, about democracy, about equity of law and how it's applied to Black people in this country. When Kamala says she's not going to do shit for Black people, she means exactly this. She is going to stand by and watch an innocent Black person be executed. And these Johnny-come-lately tactics of the prosecution, I'm not impressed. Not impressed, because this office, in that office specifically, St. Louis County, I believe it is, shit. You don't even want to know the amount of innocent Negroes in jail locked up in Missouri right now, especially in and around St. Louis. So this is horrific. This is exemplary of American values. All that fake ass, we a Christian nation, one nation under God. We put Black people to death, even if they are innocent in this country, even if we know they are innocent in this country. There is no justice. There is no democracy. There is no freedom. Because guess what? This could be any one of us at any given time. That's what makes stories like this so terrifying, right? But
Yeah.
for an overzealous or sloppy or gross prosecution of an innocent person, that could be either any one of us.
Hmm.
I don't know to the extent the death penalty per se, but thinking about famed Black prosecutors like Marilyn Mosby, who persecuted Keith Davis Jr., put him in jail for 7 years for something that he didn't do, and was perfectly happy to do so, and was going to prosecute him again for something else. I'm over it. Burn it down today, starting with the prison, wherever he is. Go there first with the pitchforks and the fucking gasoline. So this is scheduled to happen today. So the next steps is waiting to see if the Supreme Court gives an up or down on whether they will hear the case.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and it looks like it's going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to have to be before midnight tonight, if I saw that correctly. Something to that effect. But we'll definitely continue to monitor it, and
See, I wonder if Steve Harvey or D.L. Hughley or any one of or Roland Martin or any of the other Black luminaries and our most learned minds, the culture's thought leaders. Anybody ask Kamala about this at any point in time ever?
It's interesting. I didn't see that, but I saw that somewhere on some platform with 1 million subscribers, Charlemagne the God is going live today to talk about how to build wealth. So we can get that solution somewhere today. That I don't know if this is going to have anything to say about freeing Khalifa or anyone else, but that's going to be the conversation in some of those spaces.
Step and fetching it is an excellent way to start building wealth. Can you step? Can you fetch it? All right. Can you traffic in misogynoir and uphold terrible ass niggas and defend and yuck it up with terrible niggas? Of course you can build wealth. Yes, absolutely.
Well, speaking of building real wealth, the kind of wealth that doesn't require extraction, violence, and hostility. That's why we got the ear doctor coming back with us.
I'm telling you. I give you that wealth for your mind, body, and soul right here. So we're going to do a remix on a remix real quick. Get y'all a little quick break. Come back with some more stories and bust you on the head with some boom bap breakfast. That's cool.
Sounds good to me. Thank
right,
you. Exactly.
Right here on the Remix Morning Show. Remix on the remix, y'all.
How do rumors get started? Started by the jealous people, and they get mad seeing something they had and somebody else is holding.
Come on.
They tell me that temptation is very hard to resist. These wicked women, ooh, they just persist. Hey, you think it's cute, but girl, I'm not impressed. I tell you one time only with my business, please don't mess with me. Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. I just need some time to get away from all these rumors. Can't take it no more. My best friend said there's one I'd rather meet than the girl next door.
All right, let me take you to a time and place, which is damn, how I ain't get the date. Well, anyway, let me take you back to 1986. We talking about Club Nouveau off their album Vicious Rumors. The name of this song is Rumors. And let me take you back to around the late 90s with the definitive Old Dirty Bastard story. That's the album. Artists Mariah Carey and ODB, Old Dirty Bastard. And the name of this is that Fantasy Remix. So yeah, that's what you got. Remix on the remix. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe. New to the channel. Go do that. Tell a friend it's on again. And also go to the bottom of the screen where you can see our website. Go there and rock out with us on blkliberationmedia.org. And donate. with that said, let's get back to the Remix Morning Crew. You know how they do. Yeah.
Gross. I'm sorry, not your remix. My bad. I thought it that
I didn't even mention his name.
you didn't have to because it was an excellent remix, right? It was, there was the Mariah's Fantasy remix, and here come Old Dirty with New York in the house,
Me and
in Brooklyn
Mariah.
in the house. Right, me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers. But the funny thing is at the end of that song, Mariah goes, "What you gonna do when you get out of jail?" Here come Diddy. "I'm gonna do a remix." Nigga, you are never coming out of jail. Never ever. What you gonna do when you get out of jail, Diddy? Nothing, because you're never coming out of jail.
All right. So
I actually completely forgot that he's on that track. That's another reason why we need the Diddy free playlist. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sullying it with all of his little ad libs.
A quick question for the people in the chat room, little trivia. What was the name of Club Nouveau's original name? What was Club Nouveau's
Time at Social Club?
Thank you, Kim, for giving them
Wow.
a chance.
Wow. I didn't realize I had that right. Look at me.
You got it right. Good job.
That
Good
was
job.
impressive, though. I would have never come up with that. So that's that.
Who wants to be my partner on Beat Shazam? I need a nigga there to push the button. Okay, but I'm telling you, I would destroy y'all. I'm crushing on Beat Shazam. I'm crushing on Beat Shazam.
That would be dope. We might need to do something like that, yo.
We should.
Who gonna push the buttons? I just need a nigga to push the buttons. Push the buttons.
All right,
Well,
I think
we
that
have
might have to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Play a song and see who could get it first. Bring two
So we
people
could,
on the screen.
even if we did it virtually, if we pulled up our phone and played, push the button, you could hear it and then call it out from there. Like we could do it that way, right?
Yes, but y'all don't want to win money.
Whoa, I didn't know that was part of it. Oh, there's a way to. Oh, this is like a real thing where you can actually win money.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never.
I didn't even know that. No.
Beat Shazam, hosted by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
It's a game show. It comes on at night. And I'm such a Shazam geek. I actually would play along with my Shazam app on Beat Shazam because I'm killing them on Beat Shazam, shorty. I'm killing them on Beat Shazam. I'm talking about who wants to be my partner in audition. Let's go out to LA. Let's go win some Black Liberation Media money out this joint.
Just drop me off at Wheel of Fortune.
Oh wow. Is that show still on?
Yeah,
it's got a new host.
Yes,
really.
Some guy that just killed every time he got on. He could never stop winning. They was like, you know what, you got the job. So
no, nigga, you got that in Jeopardy confused.
Oh, you're right. You're
the new host of Wheel of Fortune.
You're right.
You think about Ken Jennings from Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right. So who does the Vanna White part?
Vanna White.
She's still doing it?
Yes, she is.
Wow.
She more like Vanna Eggshell now. She ain't. Oh, that wasn't a good one. But anyway, yeah.
How was she aging?
Stage left even.
Quite well. Right. Quite well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Because I think she's Puerto Rican. I mean, not to say she ain't white and Puerto Rican, but I mean, I don't think she was all Euro out there.
Oh, really?
I think she had a little spice. Little vanilla bean in her.
Look what you learn every day here in the Remix Morning Show. Little
I mean, Chad, I know the Niggapedia knows everything. So what's Vanna White, y'all? Is she white? Okay.
She's 67, says Lisa Catlett. So we got that part. Wow.
Yeah, she looks good. She looks good.
Okay. Who said that? Somebody who said that she's rich. Can I buy? TMB said, can the rich blacks buy me a vowel? Anyway, so I got your email. I got 2 stories from you. You want to get to those?
Yep, we can get to those. Remix Morning Show. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Kim Brown, Jared Ball, Ear Doctor. Y'all, the remixes. Come on in. Come on. True. Please like the video. Like. Share. Ear Doctor says like you care. Subscribe. And set your bells and notifications and the like.
Did you have an order for these?
Nope, I did not.
Okay.
So whichever
All right.
buttons you push are the right buttons.
So I got this one here. Let's see. Ahmed El Masri. Is there anything you want to preface
Um,
with this?
if I hope I put the right video. So, I mean, obviously, the genocide still very much happening in Gaza. The United States now helping Israel to accelerate all the tensions that are going on now between Israel and Hezbollah. But in the interim, Zionists in the United States are still auctioning off plots of land in Gaza, trying to say, and we've seen a number of these real estate sales, I think in New Jersey. I think we've seen them in the Los Angeles area. And Jared, this one's a little bit closer to home. Check it out.
Okay, so I'm outside the Doubletree Hilton Hotel right now, where they are having a sale of Palestinian land, and they're selling it in Maryland, of all places, a place called Pikesville, Maryland. Okay, and they're selling land that doesn't even belong to them. It's Palestinian land, and you can only purchase it if you are Jewish. So, and this is happening in America, so I can't enter and go in there right now and buy land in Palestine. I can't, because I have to be Jewish. And this is happening in America, where, you know, we're not supposed to have discrimination based on religion. And this is 2024. This isn't Trump's America. This is America under Biden. So fascism and tyranny are already here. Why can't I go in there and try to buy land, even though it's land that's stolen land? I mean, no one should be able to buy it in the first place. But the fact that you have to be a certain thing to buy the land is crazy. Okay, we got to talk about that. So people are here right now, outside in Pikesville, Maryland, and we need support. I mean, the Zionists are coming out, driving in, driving out. They're happy. They're smiling. They're waving at us. They're giving middle fingers. So yeah, come out if you can. They're selling land, Palestinian land, that belongs to Palestinians in Maryland, America, and you could only buy it if you're Jewish. If that's not outrageous to you, I don't know what is.
So first of all, those of us who are from around here know the other language used to describe Pikesville, and would find that this is somewhat consistent. But I'm curious. So I can go down there and buy some land?
You might be able to, bro. You got the right combination, you know. You might be able to. But again, under what circumstances? I mean, under terrible circumstances, obviously. And it makes me wonder, even if the Zionists that are going to these land grabs, these, you know, auctions of other people's fucking land, are they themselves even getting scammed? How the fuck are y'all buying some shit sight unseen? The resolution of the conflict is not yet over nor determined. Who's to say there's even going to be an Israel after all this?
What are the Jewish papers? Like, I didn't get an ID thing. So how does that work?
Your mama.
I know, but how do I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, how would I actually prove? How do you prove she's a Jew? Is it written somewhere? Is there some document?
Is it written? I don't know, Nas. Is it written? I don't know. Like,
but I'm very tempted to. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Is there? Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies in advance for my ignorance. But is there something that doubles as like a baptism certificate that Jewish folks do? Like, did your mom have a bat mitzvah? Do you know? I don't know.
She
like,
didn't. She didn't. I had a bar mitzvah.
Oh. They didn't give you an ID, a card. Did they give you?
I don't. First of all, I was again. Apologies to Jews. I was in it for the hustle. I was trying to get a check, and that plan failed. So I don't. That's all I was looking for. But I definitely do not remember somebody handing me something, say, you know, you're official now.
hold
So,
on.
but I
you
wonder
can
what
tell
that
this-
would look like if I showed up there. Like, what do you have to? What's like? What's
what are
and
the
then how
rest-
much money? Yeah,
I mean, listen, seriously, if you had a bar
That's-
mitzvah, I'm imagining you had to go to a synagogue or a temple and do something, right? Didn't you have to recite something?
yeah. But it was at the we're in Columbia, so it was the Interfaith Center at the
Oh
time.
Lord.
It wasn't even a. It's not even they roll the. They used to just slide the thing over. It was like for Jews on Saturday, they got the Star of David. They slide it over, put the cross up for Christians on Sunday, throw the star and crescent up for
I mean, but
Friday
where was
for
the
the few
rabbi?
Muslims around.
Where was the rabbi from? I feel like there is documentation somewhere.
No, I'm sure there is. I'm just saying I need to. This is a first. As this is live happening, first thoughts as it's happening. So I'm experiencing this with everyone.
Would you participate in such a thing though? Even if you had the clearance, as it were, would you go down there and see?
I would absolutely be willing to go down there and see what exactly, just what would happen. I would be very curious to see, would I be allowed in the room? How much money do you have to have and how much do you have to have on hand?
Mm,
Because I can see that being the next level of an issue. But what are these plots going for?
hmm.
I'm gonna when we wrap here, I'm gonna do a couple clicks and Googles and see what's up. And if anybody's connected with any of these folks, tell them to holler at me. I'll
First of all,
and that's the other thing. Like
nobody down with us should be connected with the. Oh, you talking about the good folks?
no, I'm talking about the Palestinians. I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
Sorry,
Like
I was
if
like,
the
whoa,
folks,
whoa, whoa.
no, yeah. And then Yipper saying sell the land to a Palestinian. I'm certain you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to see what that process would look like if I went in there and said I would like to now go outside and just give this to one of them out there.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what? Not just sign it on over. Like what does that? I'm sure there's a plan in place that says you can't do that. But I'm now very interested to see. I'm now curious. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
I think you could craft a disguise, my brother. I think you could. You just got to go in there with the right symbolism, right? You got to rock the yarmulke. You know what I'm saying? You got to go in there and play the role.
So I got to go shopping. I got to go to the local Hebrew store or whatever and get because I don't have.
Gotta go get it, sir. You gotta look the part. You can't come in there radicalizing your dashiki and shit. They be like, security, get this nigga out of here. You gotta go in there and lead. You gotta go in there with your yarmulke and tell him my name is Jared. Yared out this bitch.
Yared.
Yared. Yup. So there you go.
I would say Yared Ben Asna.
There we go. Come through.
Yared, the son of Arnett. The son of Arnett. That's what I would say. Yared Ben Asna.
I say I'm from New Jerusalem.
Move from BK to
New Jerusalem.
Think about all the plans we flew, we ran through. Anyway.
So first of all, the story, aside from all of the stuff about me and this onion styled plot we're putting together here, the story is, that is that is just.
But it's a thing, and it's happening from what I understand all over the world. And, it's happening in Europe where Palestinian lands are being auctioned off. I am curious again what the process is, and I'm also curious whether or not these folks attempting to make these land grabs, these land thefts, how who is this money going to? Is this going to Yahoo? Who do you give your money to? How do you guarantee that your money is going to equate this plot of land, which is stolen land? To the brother's point, nobody should be able to buy this land. This land already belongs to people. So, this is very much the settling of the American West, or the whole of America, right? You're selling land that does not belong to you, that people already live on, that people already have heritage and ties to. And it just, here come capitalism. No. We'll just end white supremacy and the militaristic death machine. No. Nobody lives here. We just bombed them all to death. So no, it's free. Nobody lives here now.
The only problem with what I saw in the video is that it looked like it was nighttime. So I'm like, man, I need some daytime protests. I need some daytime actions. I need some before my bedtime activities. I was like, that's looking late. That's looking no, but yeah, no, that's you're right. I mean, it's here
Find your
comes settler colonialism. I mean,
dust off your yarmulke, Jerry. We got to send you deep cover. Double O African out here. You talking about double O African? Now was the time,
now
brother.
was the time.
That was the time. Deep
Yeah.
cover.
Speaking of deep cover, I see you got something here about New York police shooting in the subway.
Yeah, buddy. Follow up on the mass shooting done by New
Yeesh.
York police departments. Can't call them the finest. What's the opposite of finest? The ugliest. NYPD's
The
ugliest.
worstest.
The
Right.
worstest. The terriblest. So, the police said in this Brownsville, Brooklyn subway shooting that the suspect jumped the turnstile, which is why the NYPD subway safety unit was engaged to follow him, because they can't have people stealing $2.90 worth of subway fare. So they pursued him. And what the cops claimed is that the man pulled a knife and allegedly lunged at police, right?
Oh,
Well, it turns out that the body camera footage was released, and then it kind of was unreleased. Then all of a sudden it was a little sparse. You couldn't really get the whole unedited, unaltered version of the NYPD body cams that allegedly showed this man lunging at police with a knife. Well, it turns out it doesn't show that at all. And the New York media, NYC media, brava, y'all have been doing a bang up job of your propaganda. I haven't seen propaganda at this level, all this cop apologists, all this shit. So anyway, go ahead, JB.
No. Oh, you ready to play? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and run it. Let's just run it.
It just mentioned the mayor's name to see on the thumbnail.
Oh, Eric punk ass nigga Adams.
Wait a
Eric, I'm
minute,
about to be sharing a cell next to Diddy Adams. I'm sorry.
Police shooting at a subway station in Brooklyn last Sunday. The footage begins with the officers trying to stop a man who just jumped right over the turnstile. Officers say the man then pulled a knife, forcing them to open fire. Four people were
right
wounded,
in their face,
including one of the officers and two bystanders. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live at NYPD headquarters this morning in Lower Manhattan. Marcus, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. And the NYPD says on that tape, you can hear officers giving the command to that suspect to drop the knife 38 times, he is told, and he refuses. And then that is when the shots were fired. And so you can see in the body cam footage that was released, initially it starts with officers trying to tase the suspect, 37-year-old Daryl Nichols. When that doesn't work, they say on the platform, Nichols charged at one of the officers with the knife in hand, and that is when fire. Now, Nichols had been kicked out of the Sutter Avenue station in Brownsville for hopping the turnstile. He came back a few minutes later, entered again without paying the fare, and that's when officers followed him up to the platform. And the shooting incident injured one of the officers involved, friendly fire, and also two of the strap hangers in the subway car. One was not seriously injured, but there was a serious injury to Gregory Delpeche. The 49-year-old remains in critical condition, and that has sparked some protests and also complaints from the victim's family that says the body-worn footage does not answer their questions.
Watch the video. Watch the video. Because I'm disgusted. Like, there's no way you could actually back your officers up for them doing a great job. What great job were they doing?
These officers did nothing wrong. When you have that situation, you have two people shot that had nothing to do with it. And that's terrible. But it's not the officer's fault. It's anybody's, Mr. Nichols' fault. Now, he's the one who wouldn't obey commands.
Now, the suspect was injured but survived that shooting. He is in Kings County Hospital, arraigned yesterday at his bedside. He is facing a number of charges, being held on $250,000 bail, but charged with attempted aggravated assault on a police officer, assault, menacing, and criminal possession of a weapon. And we're live at One Police Plaza. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
$250,000 bond is abhorrent, but which is even more abhorrent, is for the cops to continue to say our officers did a great job. Yeah, two people got shot. one in the head. One, it's unclear whether or not this person is going to survive this gunshot wound to the head done by NYPD. But it's really the other dude's fault, because if he had just complied, then these other innocent bystanders would not have been shot. So it was really his fault, even though he didn't have a gun and didn't open fire on anybody, even though he was consistently seen on video trying to get away from the police, trying to escape the police. They continued to pursue him. And the body cam footage does not show what the cops says it shows. Does not show this man lunging at police with a knife in his hand. In fact, when police opened fire on him, the body cam shows that his hands were at his side. It's not clear what was in his hands, but he did not have a knife extended out towards the police in an aggressive way. He had his hands at his sides, and they opened fire on a crowded NYC subway platform and ended up shooting a person in the head who didn't have shit to do with shit. And here come the cops and Eric Adams, by the way. The cops did a great job. Great job. What? A mass shooting is a great job? Wow.
I just watched a video last night from a couple years. Apparently the incident was a couple years old, of a white man in Portland stabbing up people on the train, killing at least one of them, and happy to be doing it, and was somehow able to be taken into custody alive,
Unshot, I'm guessing.
unshot, unharmed. And it was interesting because he's picked up by black cops, and you see him on tape in the car being driven, and he's just in the back of the car calling them all type of N's, this and B's that, and he's happy. He's hoping to kill all the N's and do all this other kind, and nothing. He somehow survives everything, ends up probably still in jail. Is probably some Nazi organization within prisons right now. But this brother here, who, as we see, as you said, is clearly not attacking anyone, is unable to not only himself be unharmed, but other people around. I mean, they're just harming everybody. And yet the white man that's out there in Portland literally killing people on a train is apprehended. And someone put it in the chat accurately. What happened to the whole point about you have billy clubs and training and numbers against a knife? Why do you have to have, and tasers? Why do you have to then start letting rounds off in the middle? I mean, it's and again, over 250 fair. They should have just said, let it, how much money do they claim they lose every year with people jumping the turnstile? It should just be like, should just like,
I mean, but the DC Metro is done similar. I won't say someone got murdered that I can recall off the top of my head, likely so. But this whole notion that we have to stop fare evaders. We spent millions of dollars upgrading the turnstile so people can't just easily jump the turn. Why don't you just make the shit free? Why are we going through all this? If we acknowledge that public transportation is a utility, it's a public utility that helps to facilitate commerce, basically the moving around of workers to get to their jobs, to keep this bullshit fucking economy going. Why do people have to pay for public transportation? And imagine, like, if they had just let this man beat the fare, as it were. I even hate the phrase. I hate to even parrot mainstream media, characterizations. But if they'd have just allowed him to jump the turnstile, what would have happened? He would have got on the train. He would have been on his way. Two bystanders would not have been shot. One of their own would not have been shot. And what? They would have went home feeling bad because, man, why didn't we get that guy that we let jump the turnstile? You feel me? Like, I mean, just the lack of critical thinking and an ability to assess consequences. But they don't give a fuck, right? They didn't give a shit about this man's life. They didn't care about the lives of the other passengers and people that were on the platform. It just shows a disregard to me for the neighborhood. You don't give a fuck about the people in that neighborhood. Fuck them. Just open fire.
So, sorry, no, my bad. No, go ahead.
No, I'm finished my rant. Go ahead.
Jaribu is saying that they claim $800 million a year in losses from, quote, fare evasion. So I said, okay, fair enough. Let's take Jaribu. Let's accept that as accurate. $800 million a year lost by people jumping the fare. to your point, and to the point that someone had raised some time ago in a different context, let's just put that, what was it, a half a penny tax on all stock trading on the New York Stock Exchange. And in addition to all the trains being free, and I'm sure that would easily cover 800 million. And then let's, while we're at it, probably get some people some health care, maybe some housing off of that too. But yeah, so that's fine. I'm happy to take that and accept that as legit. 800 million in losses from people jumping the fare. I'm sorry, that's a horrible loss. Why should anybody suffer that? Let's just put an appropriate little half a penny tax on some stock trading. Maybe everybody who makes over, I don't know, could we say even, I don't know, some crazy like 100 million in New York? If you're worth over 100 million, you cover people's day passes. Like, I mean, we could figure this out. You know what I'm saying?
It's a very legitimate ask, and the billionaires would not lose anything really from their bottom lines by doing such a thing. My suggestion is, again, to reallocate money away from the NYPD budget, right?
Okay.
Chat, real quick, how much is in that NYPD budget? I keep saying 10 billion. I don't know if that's an accurate number, but I know it's in the billions, right? So, okay, let's say it's 10 billion.
11 billion as of March 2024.
There we go. So minus 822 million, Jared. I think them niggas can survive off of $9 billion.
They might just make it. They might just make it.
I mean, the audacity, like, again, but what do the police do? This is what they do, right? They can't stop and frisk niggas no more, even though they do. They can't buzz people for weed, smoking weed in public. Weed is legal in New York State. So this is how they spend their time. These are their crime fighting duties, to make sure that people don't jump the turnstile. So again, if we were to make public transportation free in New York City, what would the cops do? What would they literally do with their time?
Renee is reminding us that NYPD pays more in lawsuits. The city loses more in NYPD lawsuits than they did. So yeah, I mean, right on. That's yeah. What would they do? Maybe you know what.
But also, can we talk about the dystopia? Can we talk about the disconnect between what the police are saying, how the media is covering, and what the situation actually is?
Right.
For the cops to continually to double down, triple down, quadruple down. Our officers did nothing wrong. There are 4 people shot. How can you say that with a straight face? You were confronting someone who allegedly had a knife unfound, by the way. Where's the knife? Ain't no knife. Where'd the knife go? But you got 4 guns versus 1 knife, let's say. What the fuck? In what world, in what realm, in what universe, multiverse is this a rational conclusion of your actions, of your next actions? And all this bullshit about, well, the officers is trained to de-escalation. De-escalation where? Where is the de-escalation? Show me. Ask that man who got shot in the back of the head, did he feel as though the officers de-escalated the situation?
That's why I'm saying that was my biggest problem with that Rebel Ridge movie. You got the Marine out here de-escalating. He's out here de-escalating everything. It's like, when the hell who's de-escalating? These Marines on top of it, but the Marines and the police out here de-escalating. What do we do? This is, and as we just see in real life, it's far from it. I mean, it would have been easy to de-escalate that situation. Because in addition to the guns and the tasers and the numbers, you also have radios and cameras and helicopters.
Somebody could have been waiting for him at the next station. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you have all this surveillance. I mean, there was just better ways.
Or just take the ride on the train with him. If you're that worried, just ride on the train with him. Just make sure he's going somewhere and not stabbing anybody. You know what I mean? Or I mean, you could get. I mean, if you want, I don't know. There's any number of things. They could have just followed him all day. I want my $2, like in that movie back in the '80s. Where's my $2? Where's my $2? You could have just trolled him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, have some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Like Kim just said, you don't have nothing to do. So turn it into a fun day. Troll him for a day. Follow him, be an asshole and follow him around for a day. Talking about $2. No. We just shoot him and a couple other people, and then we'll get praised. To your point, we'll get praised for our well-behaved response.
Wow.
I mean, that's bizarre. I do think, having seen that video now, my initial impression is that those cops felt a kind of way that he did it right in their face. And I think that their ego was hurt, and they were like, had that oh hell no moment, and went and that's exactly why they shouldn't be allowed to do what they do, because at the end of the day, they're just regular to lesser evolved human beings, and that they have all this license and privilege and legality behind them to let them behave like that. Like, all of us could have a bad moment and get in our anger and our ego, but we don't have the state saying, yeah, but you could go out there and kill somebody when Jared, if you feel bad, put your badge on and go shoot somebody. If you're having a bad day, you can go out there and tase someone, Jared. No, nobody says that. They say the exact opposite. They say, no, Jared, calm your ass down. Take a moment, sit down for a second, breathe, as the ear doctor says. We have to go through all of that. They're allowed to ignore all of that. And
the expectation that people who are confronted by police have to behave perfectly, right? Who have to know exactly how to comport themselves. They have to know where their hands are. They have to be mindful of what's in their hands or in their pockets. They have to be mindful of the way they speak to police, the tone in which they engage with police. The expectation that the average person is supposed to be flawless in their execution of how they themselves interact with cops, but the cops themselves are allowed all of this latitude for stress, and the officer was in fear for his life, and this person was not being compliant. The officers asked 30 times and they kept saying no. So what was their what were they left with to do? Like, we are in the bizarro world, the upside down, wherever you want to call it. But I saw this with the Tyreek Hill situation too. Like, Tyreek Hill, a poor wayward brother in himself, but at the same time did what was expected of him, what was asked of him. And because he didn't do it with a yes sir, no sir, I don't know sir, yes sir, no sir, because he didn't do all that shit, oh well, he was not being compliant, even though he totally was. Oh, he was not obeying the officer's orders, even though he was. And what did he get? He got to be face down in the sidewalk as he's headed to his football game. For what? Because anyway, I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm over the propaganda. I'm over the tyranny of the police. I'm over this fascism that is clear that it's fascism. And here we are under Biden Harris, and everybody is like, oh, what if Trump gets in? It's gonna get bad, bitch. It's bad today. Okay, right now.
So that's funny. Last night I watched Mark Lamont Hill have a friendly exchange debate with Sam Cedar about that issue. And Sam, for those of us who are aware, has been a long time liberal Democrat, Air America, standard, But what I said to a couple people I was chatting with last night, he does offer a competent. He's competent in his defense of liberalism, so I'll give him that. But what he said to Mark Lamont Hill was, I think, another stark reminder of that liberalism. That he said that at the end of the day, we have to vote for Kamala because, as he said, if you're concerned about the Palestinians and genocide, Trump will be worse. So, and it's still with that. It was just a fascinating reminder, even after he's making a competent argument in defense of his liberal position. But to rest on that point, and then to say it with that kind of air of I don't know, it is a little bit condescending and liberal arrogance to say, I want I want us to make sure that we use our vote not as some fantasy, but as a way to actually make a meaningful impact on stopping or making these atrocities somewhat better. And that's where I was like, I don't agree with you, but I hear you and your competence of your argument all the way up until that's where you ended up making that point, where you make that resting point, which is so illogical and antithetical to all the claims that you're making about wanting to make the world better. So yeah, to your point, I with this attitude that if you don't vote for Kamala, you're doing something irresponsible. And if you do vote for her, you're responsibly defending Palestinians.
Man, listen. Why I did this, I don't know. I watch Meet the Press on Sunday, and every time I watch mainstream media, I'm reminded why I don't watch this shit. Kirsten Welker, who is a bad host, can I say? Like, she is not. She is
right, yeah.
under fucking whelming. God damn. Anyway, that's another story. So Kirsten Welker had on John Fetterman, the Pennsylvania senator. She asked him about his thoughts regarding the pager attack in Lebanon with glee. He said, "Oh, I thought it was great. Oh, I thought it was he literally said, I thought it was great." I think I can find it. I'll send it to you and see if we can bring it up. And I'm like, listen to these ghouls. He is a Kamala surrogate. He's telling you that he thought that a terrorist attack on a civilian population, people would be like, well, they were Hezbollah. They was in the store. You feel me? Like, it doesn't even matter if it was Hezbollah members who had most of these devices. They were not unto themselves with these devices. They were out in the world. They were in their homes with their families. Like, innocent people and children were murdered because of this indiscriminate terrorist attack committed and orchestrated and architected by Israel, right? With the backing of the US. And here come these Biden-Harris ghouls like John Fetterman saying that it was a wonderful thing. He thought it was great. Make no mistake who the ghouls are. It is all of them. It is Democrats, it is Republicans, it is Kamala, it is Trump. It is them all. They are state sponsors of terrorism, okay? This is what Israel is committing with our tax dollars, our intel, our military assistance, our all of our shit is helping them to do this. And you have to tell me how Trump is going to be worse. You have to tell me how it's going to be worse under Trump. Even on the issue of immigration, right? When Trump vowing to round up 12 million undocumented people and do mass deportations. I saw a sister who is on the immigration front on Democracy Now! I can't recall her name. And she's like, yeah, that sounds terrible. But guess what Kamala's talking about doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, as though one is better than the other, as though one is more humane or more compassionate to people that they feel is lesser than Americans, right? It's gross.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find, I think I found real quick. I know we're about to get out of here, but I think I just found what you were talking about.
And then after targeting and eliminating membership and leadership of Hezbollah, I absolutely support that. And in fact, if anything, I love it. And Israel demonstrated that they will not allow terrorists not to be held accountable. And I fully support that. And it's not about nothing that has what my colleague has said.
Anyway, that was at least...
You are the terrorist, yeah. John Fetterman. Congratulations. You are a happy, willing participant and state sponsor of terrorism. Good for you. I hope you're happy. I hope you sleep well at night, which I'm sure he does. Which I'm sure he sleeps like a fucking baby. Not worried about none of this. And tell all your little Democrat friends out there, chat, to all your little Democrat friends, because unfortunately, we all got little Democrat friends. Tell them what these people are signing off for. What are they gleefully signing their names to? Get me out of here, Jared. Burn this shit to the fucking ground. Wait, your wife, y'all still got spot in Panama? Can we go?
We do. We do.
Really?
The only... Oh yeah, we do. The problem though, the problem though is that the tentacles of this place reach very far. And a lot of these other countries are not the safe havens that they should be. But yeah, we do. I mean, technically, I'm ready to go at any moment. I got the go bag packed and everything. My wife thinks I'm tripping, but I'm like, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to go. Air conditioning and an internet and a weed connect, and you could put me anywhere on the planet.
Let's go.
How far is the boat ride?
The boat?
The boat to Panama?
Yeah. I mean,
pretty
like,
long, because you got to go around some stuff.
Oh, okay.
But if you just
do? What you got gotta go
Well,
around.
I mean, if you if I'm in Maryland, it's going to take me longer to go by boat to go down and around the coast of Florida and all of that, and than it would be to just drive. Either drive or take a quick flight. Relatively,
Yeah, that's the
quick
thing.
flight.
That's why I didn't say flight, because I'm thinking about the tentacles of,
If you drive now, the intercontinental highway goes from Alaska all the way down to the southern tip of South America, except for one strip in the southern part of Panama in the Darien province. But you can get into Panama
via vehicle.
via vehicle. Yeah, you can drive down there.
Okay.
You can drive down there.
Oh my goodness, somebody in the chat room is really trying to get recognized today. I mean, all caps and everything, but I don't think we're going to recognize them. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Remix Morning Show, y'all. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. It is on again. And hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Also go to our website, blkliberationmedia.org, and donate. Much love to y'all.
Hey, real quick, gang, join me tonight for Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We are starting tonight at 7:15. Since Brother Will has real jobs, 7:15 start time tonight. So Burn It Down with Kim Brown Tuesday edition, please and thank you so much.
And right on. And if you got the time in an hour, we're going to be over. Todd's going to join me on our Mix What I Like for Saturday Night Live and its 50th anniversary. But we want to remind everybody of the cartoon they banned back in the day. So we're going to get into that at 11 o'clock. So,
man, listen, the shit they used to get away with, Garrett Morris and even Eddie Murphy, when Eddie did Jesse Jackson singing "High Me Town," nigga, what? Don't let me down.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was hilarious. And that aired, but not the cartoon we're going to be talking about today.
Wow.
They
What a
that.
tease. Good tease.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all head over and check it out. We out of here, y'all.
All right, peace, everybody.
Peace. What happened?
No, I'm just nigga. I'll tell you the funniest shit